have an honest question. When did men decide they wanted to be chased by a woman? Am I missing something? A man is supposed to do the chasing. It's never a woman's job.
You know what's funny? Women spent years telling men not to approach them, not to chase, not to bother them. Now, all of a sudden, they're mad that men actually listened. They don't get it. You can't shame men for chasing and then complain when men stop. Actions have consequences. Men just stopped playing the game.
If a man ever brags that they do not chase women, she's falling down. If they brag that they do not chase women, if they brag that they're not going to go out of their way for a woman, you like men. You want to be a princess. You want a man to chase you. They haven't admitted to themselves that they are like actually gay, okay? Because a guy who, like, guys know, like, it's not about chasing women in particular. Like, it's more about pursuing a woman, okay? If they're like bragging that they do not pursue women, like, you're kind of girly, kind of weird. It's just not a flex, because the girls that are actually of high quality are going to not chase you. They're not going to chase your validation. They're not going to go out of their way to prove to you that they're worth being picked, okay? Because a lot of the high quality women that you want are going to require you to pursue them. And yes, I am referring to pursuing, not chasing. So if a woman's not showing any signs of interest, of course the guy shouldn't have to chase them, right? But if you're bragging that, oh yeah, like, I just, I'm not going to chase a woman. I'm going to have her come to me. I'm not going to pursue women. I'm going to have her come up to me. She needs to show me that she's worth being with. Like, I'm sorry, in what world? You are not the prize. The woman is the prize, always. And if you think you're the prize, sir, I think you need to be with men. You need to be with men, and you have to acknowledge the fact that you might possibly be gay. And that's okay. Just learn to accept it. Stop complaining, because the girls that you really want are going to require a little bit of effort. Sorry, sir. It's just how it is.
So now the logic is, if a man doesn't chase you, he must be gay? Really? No. Maybe he's just not interested. Maybe he's tired of wasting his time. Men don't want to keep running after women who bring nothing but expectations. Not every man who ignores you has something wrong with him. Sometimes he's just making a choice, and that choice is to walk away.
Guys, I'm so over being the man in the talking stage, dating stage, married stage. Do not make me initiate everything. Do not make me beg for you. I am the woman. You are the man. It is not reversed. I'm not here opening the door for you, paying for your bills. You know how many times I have been the man. I am sick of that. I am sick of it. Men are meant to chase. Men are meant to pursue. Why is this day and age everything is like reverse? I am really getting confused at this rate. Are there still men out there who want to be providers and pursuers and leaders and not bums? Like, are there... Let me know.
She says she's tired of being the man in relationships, and that men are supposed to provide and pursue. Well, here's the reality. Men have no problem stepping up for a woman who's worth it. But if you're coming in with debt, baggage, and an attitude, why would a man want to take all that on? Men aren't checking out of relationships because they don't want to lead. They're checking out because the deal isn't fair anymore.
When you say I don't chase women, my first initial thought is, well, then go find your man. You likely aren't making plans. You aren't initiating conversation. Your text messages are really dry. What are you doing? Are you wanting the woman to chase you? Because if that's the case, then you probably aren't even into women. You're probably into men. I just don't get it when men say things like this. You probably don't text first in the morning. You don't say good morning. You don't say good night. You don't check in. Like, you want to be single. That's what you should be. If you're not pursuing a woman, then you want to be a woman. Like, this is the problem with guys nowadays. They're so fucking feminine that they want the women to do their job. No.
They say if men don't chase, it must mean they want women to chase them. And that's feminine. No, it's not feminine, it's rational. Men are realizing that chasing uninterested women is a waste of time. If she wants you, she'll make it known. And if she doesn't, move on. That's not weak, that's efficient.
So this is a question for the guys. So I know many guys have said that they don't want to approach women anymore. Like, they're not going to approach her at a grocery store. They're not going to approach her at the gym. They're not going to approach her at the bar. Because why? Most women can just frankly be rude to guys, or don't want them talking to him, or don't want them talking to her. So, question for these guys that would say they don't approach women. If a woman went out of her way to make eye contact with you, looked away, looked back, maybe even held the gaze for a couple seconds, made sure she was within proximity of you, as well as then smiled at some point. If a woman goes to that extent, would you then change your mind on approaching her? Or do you just want the woman to approach you? I know some women don't want to do that because they're old school, and that's kind of how I am. But I also am just like, if I want to talk to someone, I'll just go talk to them. But maybe I'm different in that way. But would this change your mind, guys? Let me know in the comments.
But what if I smile? What if I make eye contact? Look, a smile and some eye contact is an effort. That doesn't show real interest. That's just basic human interaction. Men are done throwing themselves into rejection just because a woman glanced at them. If you're really interested, show it. Start the conversation. The burden doesn't always have to fall on the guy.
I am 52, I'm divorced, and I want everyone to comment because I need some help. I would like to know why men do not approach me in public.
Oh, darling, that's an easy one. The answer is because you're a risk to all men, as are all women these days. You see, y'all decided to weaponize Me Too and file false allegation after false allegation against men, especially the ones who were dumb enough to approach you that you weren't attracted to and thus decided were somehow creepy. Add to it, you've all screamed time and again that you don't want us, don't need us, and you just want us to leave you alone. Then there's the absurd, ridiculous demands and expectations that you've all come up with. How you've declared millions and millions of men as unworthy simply because they're not 6 feet tall. How you've all said that any man who doesn't have a six-pack and millions of dollars in the bank shouldn't be dating, isn't allowed to date because, he's a loser incel. And you have the audacity to demand the world while offering nothing, literally nothing in return, and never showing a lick of appreciation or acknowledgement for anything a man does for you. And y'all decided years ago that treating men like crap, being toxic towards them and blaming them for everything that is wrong in the world, all while, of course, absolving yourselves of any wrongdoing or taking responsibility or accountability, well, that was the best way for you to go. Somehow that was going to make men want to be with you. Yeah, okay. And now many of you are running around going, where are all the men? Why aren't they asking me out? You actually have the audacity to ask why men aren't approaching you. I mean, really? Seriously? Is it denial? Is it delusion? Is it an inability to comprehend the reality? I don't know, but at this point, I'm beginning to think it's all of the above. But let me try and explain it one more time. Men have analyzed the ROI and realized it's all risk, no reward. And that, as I said earlier, there's literally no benefit to being in a relationship with you. And a huge, huge risk of losing everything if we are. Look, I'm not trying to be mean here, but as you said, you're divorced, which means you've proven already that your promises, your vows, your loyalty are empty, hollow promises at best. Men know that if you've done it before, you're likely going to do it again, and again, and again. Only a fool would sign up for that. The bottom line, ladies, is this. You've all made the rules. You're all playing the game, the very same game you've played for decades now. And men have now realized there's no point in playing that stupid game anymore. We're better off taking our ball and going home. Going home where it's safer, healthier, and far, far more financially rewarding. And where we'll finally get some peace. Sweet, glorious, blissful peace. Something we know we are never going to get from today's modern women.
A 52-year-old divorced woman asking why men don't approach her? Let's be honest. Men are calculating risk. Divorce alone is already a red flag. Add age, and maybe kids from another man. That's not a good investment for most men. And that doesn't mean she's a bad person, but from a man's perspective, the cost is too high for the return. Simple as that.
Men aren't really putting out effort. They're not putting out any type of effort like they used to.
Well, a lot of them have said the juice ain't worth the squeeze. I mean, I've literally had men say that verbatim in my comment section. Women who told me, they're like, it's just not worth, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. The amount of effort that it requires to actually connect with these women no longer even, it's not worth it. Because we're not even, we do all this extra effort. You want us to do all these different things. And then half of y'all just want a dinner date. Half of y'all just want your food paid for because you can't afford your own food.
She says men don't put in effort anymore, that they think the juice isn't worth the squeeze. And she's right. It's not. Men used to get loyalty, respect, family. Now, too often they get disrespect, divorce, or betrayal. Why would a man keep pouring his time, money, and energy into something that keeps burning him? Men aren't lazy. They're logical. They see the math doesn't add up.
Why don't men chase anymore? For a lot of men, it's flat out not worth it. Long answer though, let's get into it. Women flat out don't appreciate the effort a man will make trying to get to know her and date her, and for what? So he can maybe end up in the friend zone? All that money, time, effort, everything? A lot of women have a ton of options. So instead of investing in each individual man, they just discard them at the first sign of not liking one little thing about him, not realizing he could actually be the perfect man for you. And a lot of men have caught on to that. It used to be chasing would actually pay off. Men would put a lot of effort and time into a woman, but realistically he would usually end up in a relationship with her. And I mean, maybe down the road they would get married and have kids and everything would be great. And now he does all that effort for nothing. Also, us ladies, we told men loud and clear, we do not want to be chased. We see men who chase as desperate or less than. No means no. A lot of men aren't willing to take that risk, and rightfully so. The burnout from game. Holy crap, are there games these days? Men are tired of those. They don't want to play those types of games. They want you to be upfront if you're interested. But a lot of women will just kind of keep that man on the back burner where she can jump and be around him whenever she wants, which is incredibly rude and misleading.
So let me get this straight. When a man approaches a woman, it's a problem. But when a man doesn't approach a woman, it's also a problem. I gotta go to work.
This one really shows the double bind men are in. If a man approaches, he's creepy. If he doesn't, he's not doing his job. Either way, he loses. And after years of being told they're always in the wrong, men just checked out. That's not bitterness. That's survival. The game is rigged, so men walked away from the table.